on Cool FM from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Bye! Happy Saturday! How are you? Mito espero ko patatating ang buong weekend. Ang buong weekend ang buong simang weekend sa start a work every time. E gusto, ma-realize ko may gusto siya sabra mainta. At amita sinti ko lang tari ba siya sabra mainta. It's like starting a new week-ish, but it's like starting the weekend. So, kasi amita sinti sina. Happy Saturday! Bihamas, mito espero ko patatating ang buong simang. Happy weekend. Awen na sa may papya. Awen na yung spill the tea again, the second one. Anto mirando ko skola kabi kuminsan. Nos kera share some spill the tea stories about educators. Das maestro ng natur nivel eigenlijk no sa hayang story ng pagkonversa dinang. Anto meeting maestro teacher kumi awe panos papiri sa kinang anto hopefully si boto escucha algo y boto sinti ko mane oh my gosh algo similar pa sa amin anto minosa kong mita sinti sa aki hopefully aray may conversation aki bo per sinti a little bit better about it pero tambe si botong educador iporta tindianan ko but having a not so awesome day Iko Santa Pasa, mi quer papasar ko it's okay, anto basam por bounce back the essay, anto sim for o momento nang e portati tiki insight riba kiko ta kosang ko por afectar studiante lifelong eigenlijk soms vai lesa para história nang di kosang ko pasa ko adulto nang na momento ko natato din bases e kita baita scar them. So once again, mi recorda boso ku spill the tea ta stories ang kuno sa hindi diferente persona lang ting hena tikis pakeda anonimo ting hena kuno i mi tigo bisko kasi mang aki yung hena na akis pakeda anonimo so that's nice pero also ku bosan perti oportunidad i asina por compartir information persona ko sa akin imita Anta Carolina imita host di Sincerely Carolina host producer creator everything else pero si mi hope excited papor papia eigenlijk kung tigi di Turcos i paporting awesome sponsors ko to support Sincerely Carolina so danki na Crust na Sarah V na Toto i of course ko the fam pa giving me this space to talk about whatever I want to talk about. By the way, misako hope ti boso no tota contento ku boso no agana e giveaways nang di si monkey. It's okay. Si bo follow me on Instagram, boso amberti un chance to participate ding quizzes. I love quizzes. Anteriori asina boso por participar pagana. Awesome prizes. So do not forget to follow me on Instagram, sincerely.carolina. Anyways, without further ado, mi tabay laga nas gas introduce ang miss. Vi hayan hope lik, sa back na ruba recien. This was the untiki hope aya fo. So no sa friends since like I want to say like high school age. Although it's not by high school junto, pero we have been friends for like a very long time. Pero mi talaga introduce si so miss contento pating people back on the island. Kuta keeps being back, obviously. Y como educador. So, hi, Kristi. How are you?
Hi, bon dia.
Kristi, konta na sa tiki di kiyang bata, kibata siya back na ruba. And obviously, why you're here today?
Yeah, so mi nombre es Kristi Lo-Fo-Sang. Mane Carolina said, recién back. Mi tauta na Holanda pa just 2 años.
Just 2. Oh my gosh, okay, mina para quieto na con largo, actually.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. But it's been a long time coming. Mi tating echt hopi tempo kaba kumikara bing Aruba. And I finally made the leap. So I'm back now. Nahula na ma-studia Engels docent, mas yung bachelor, ida sa mas yung masters, then I felt ready to come back. So that's why I came back. Yawa mi tatraha na Montplaisir College Havo VWO, imita duna Engels.
Awesome! Iba tong mentor tambe.
Iba tong mentor for the first time ever.
Right?
So very exciting.
Kasi ito sa hopi like, ora babi sa amin ko ba yung mentor class? Sa ito ta hopi nice pa.
It was not expected pa so yeah, ora ma apply, yeah, sure, as an English teacher, but I know a lot of roles come apart from just your subject. Even though tata sigur if they're gonna give it to me or not. And I was like, do I want to do it or not? Pero, I mean, I don't have a choice. They gave it to me and ito hopi like. So far, ito hopi like.
But looking forward escolar aki. So, Kristi, para pa tiki context, mi te quiere ko como educador, right? Pero también como estudiante, mita kiri ko porta otro hena na nota sta still na ki impact educators ng tini riba hobing ng nambida sowieso ting edad ng kuta hobi crucial na kukos ng porta hobi impactful, but regardless no matter the age por ting momento ng unda ko eigenlijk algo kung educador ta base of hasi por ting defining basta aspect to it pa e persona full su resto di su vida. Como educadora como ta sinti ku abota wa ke saki? Like, do you feel like it's something that you have in the back of your head?
Sigur, mitin it's hard, right? So it's everybody is going through it, no matter si bodo mucha, bodo adulto, bodo teenager, everybody's going through it. Pero como un educador, I find it very important pa bosa stand still and know like e manera ko bota presentabo mes, e manera ko bota react to certain things during the lesson or even outside the lesson. So it all has an impact on the child. Like I said, sometimes it's harder than usual. So maybe you're going through it. Ibon at that moment. I don't know. If something happened in that moment, bono pensa de manera ko ba reacciona.
Correct.
But it's always good to like reflect back. Si boto ako man ba reacciona manera sa noto ko intention iba ako man e vibe kubo studiante noto the same as
que actually cambia.
Then you know something obviously importa, not just you, it could also be them and the situation, everything, so many factors, pero always important to just like be aware of what you're saying, how you're acting, what you're doing.
Even have those like check-in moments kubo mes, but also kubo class, right? Kubo students lang waxi mani pata bisa algo todo ting mani un change for like, not, I don't want to say the worst, but not for the better.
Yeah, but like there's like a shift in energy, basically.
Okay, good. All right, Kristi. So, nos promise spell the T. Do you want to read it? And nos por talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So the first story, the K, she writes, I was blessed with a lot of good teachers. I don't like to focus on the bad ones, but sometimes they do go through my mind as negative voices. Kubonopor. A teacher once sat next to me on the bathroom floor to calm me down by distracting me. A teacher once combed my hair and fed me and said, "You are safe here." My school gave me the opportunity to go to school to do art only when I couldn't follow classes, but just so I could be there. I have many, many stories, but school was always a place I loved to go, excluding APE. I love learning. I love my teachers. Thanks for this story because it makes me reflect and remember back on how much I used to love school, and now I'm excited to go back.
Yes, so kaya man na sa story aki prometo ko ay escolar comienza, so now she is back to school. And Kristi, when you read this, no, mita haya opinize pa escucha biha mas ku teachers yung role beyond just education, right? It's also oftentimes stepping into a caregiver role, like feeding somebody, clothing somebody sometimes, basta combing somebody's hair. Kung talaga ba sinti oro ko ba talesa kung many teachers ning this like long-lasting effect, positive effect on people, like these moments mattered so much.
Yeah, I think for me personally, at least, I feel like sometimes mo nataniri para how big the effect was or is at that moment. Portaba ta chiswa ko mucha mane, ay, skabeta la loca, lagami chiswa ta pinya urato pe, without thinking like that this was a defining moment for that person. So when reading something like this, mita mane kind of think back of like, oh, have I ever done something or have I not, and should I pay more attention to do like little acts of services, right?
Yes.
So I know it's not a huge thing, but a little acts of services that can really make a difference. Maybe not for the entire life, but at least for that day.
For sure. Mani doon mucha comida, for example, right? Kasi algo ko, by all means, nos taho pibawas ko realidad financiero na Aruba. Pero tama pa teachers ng nota, basta super like, wow, nos po feed everyone. Anto basta, so by all means, nos pone impresyon eriba educador ng, pero basta ta consciente ko tiyong sitwasyon, there are ways ko po ayuda estudyante, ting fundasyon ng ko, basta ta ayuda mo siya ng ko kumina, for example. So it's like helping them navigate that, porting inderdaad een super long-lasting effect. Kuporta ito tuma par minute extra di ba dia, basta as you go through your everyday routine, but can be the kind of stuff un studiante will share years and years after. So I thought that was really cool. Also, ko mention ko por tinha ruimte pa mane não bisa hasi nada pero hasi algo beyond G curriculum na dia nang ko tato difícil pa sobra mi sempre bisa sa aqui as adults amino sa ami tinha nang ko bitalanta e amino kasi nada
same
mane basta que bigaban anto tinha nang ko nos to perform much better you know to produce much better basta na trabalho tem nos everyday life tinha nang ko nos não quer cozinhar ter nos também take out basta tudo coisa anto eta unrealistic pa pensa ko muito nang no tinha nang asina. But also, basta ko naturora que da casa opção, portanto not a safe environment, portanto maior no para handle safe, so then they gotta come to school. But also giving them the room, ora,
to just breathe.
Yes.
So maybe not tamen in the situation with, who knows, I don't know, porta tingang buksan na casa, porta kon internally, you don't know what.
Nadrumi malo, basta porta nang net get over mani condition, mani griep, basta pisa, bruela falgasina, and they're just tired. And it takes a little bit basta pasali for that irritable bubble. So yeah, so I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, let's the next one. Next one to nice so we put recognize some names here. So otro spell the tea kuna sting to the JD, and JD says, I've had some great teachers in Aruba. Frau Hernandez from Colegio, shout out, by the way. I hope she listens to this. I'm going to send her this episode. From Colegio was always really helpful and supportive. She helped me apply for a scholarship opportunity abroad and always cheered me on. My parents and friends were skeptical of my chances, but Frau Hernandez always believed in me. I don't know if I would have gone for the opportunity if it wasn't for her. Definitely grateful to her for all the support. Okay. Yes, to those teachers, right? Kutaba ni wak potential ding ng students ng from a different perspective that sometimes parents can see of other peers. Sobra nanta de un different role. What a teacher sees is not what a parent sees. It's not what their peers see, right? So hooray for teachers like that. Hindi ko bisa ko me as personally ting kubisa ko yung Frau Hernandez ta un very big reason for my success. Promeo ko miya gradua. Lives in Carolina, I don't think you should go to the Netherlands. And I was like, I'm gonna go because all my friends are going. And Elif said me, okay, but I feel like you're gonna come back and end up coming here and asking me to help you again, blah blah. Anto mitata full manin, no, mitabay. Anto, girl was right. Because I came back, Anto mi abay straight sa kajele, and I was like, you were right. Help me out. Anto, ito the best decision ever. I genuinely recognizing king with tayo as a person. Anto, basta may strong parts, but also may weaknesses. Anto, kung mani school system nang look for a better support me in that. Miti ko bisa ko sa akin ang teachers nang kutea dia di awe or kumita wak nang mita escucha ng number mita topa nang whatever it is. It's such a warm feeling that you have kumani hey basa she has so many students, right? They have so many students throughout so many years. Yes. But like a decade after and I'm meeting this like basa warm feeling
when you see her.
And it's so nice to read that other people do too. So not many ting mani un apart experience, but I guess she has really like made that her thing. So really happy to hear that. JD also mentioned, for some reason, panela ding is positive, pero nasa conversation tiki about it. Pero na-mention ko, ito ta hopi nice pa, Cynthia say, once ka tato ng kolegyo, basta din base sa ting man experience, un tiki menos positivo ko pari teachers lang ko tahaya ko manila ta slow, anto ko mani, basta ko no lo make it, anto padenting this like very contrasting experience, that was super positive. So teachers,
it makes a huge difference for sure, especially if you have really bad experience ding bases, you carry that through bo high school, bo middle school.
It will become an internal voice.
And it's a huge struggle because I mean, not everybody likes going to school, but unfortunately everybody has to go to school.
Yep.
To go with that feeling for the bases kaba, it can be quite intense. So it's really nice to see and hear teachers could like turn that around for other students.
Yes, I'm happy to like read that, right? And hear that. Okay, so Kristi Bopo read a next one, which is really nice. So this is somebody like, family, and to pa whack this perspective ko, you don't necessarily talk about. Minamit puntrele mane. Basta ko mabasa sa experience ata. But yeah, read it and we can talk about it.
All right. Vale, right?
Yes.
Okay. She writes, I had the nicest teachers in 5th and 6th grade. In the 5th grade, I had swimming lessons with my teacher's son, and she would always give me extensions to do my homework because she knew I had no time on swim days. In the 6th grade, one time, my teacher found out about my at-home situation regarding my parents, and she would give me personal days to deal with the issues. This was the first time I realized teachers are really good allies and that they can be awesome.
It was so nice to like read that. So Vale is my sobrina.
Okay.
Newsflash. For those of you that don't know, I absolutely love my nieces and nephews. Sí. Anto, bidahaya sina Luik pala sa say, pa sobra, tuwarak pa rin ang masang sa tapapya di mane sa swimming experience. Elago ng period, una ko, ekehal mane, to sa diploma ng anto, like committed. For alpo mucho young sina. Anto mane, ito din swimming lessons at different places, the semester by mane different pools, anto, hobby and downs. Mane, and this is not point to join my own swimming team, and that's money no money reach me goal. It was so funny to have like a 9-10-year-old money reach me goal di hal money diploma na kumikara hal anto mi to sinti ko money I'm done money next basta wa mi dabay money accomplish whatever goal I want to accomplish in the next sport. Pero mi nunca nabasa kung mani isay por yung impact riba mani ng stress levels. I mean, now as an adult I know kung si bota compare about something that's gonna create stress. Pero katatin stress to the point kung mani so homework tabi naman yung issue. Ika teacher mi tikere pa sobre, so you tama tato din swimming so mi tikere but a bit of mas mawis. But how nice is that? Kung teacher pour take into account kung these students have a life outside of school. Right? Pasobra, see, I mean, we all do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the teachers do as well, right? Like, bota verwacht met teacher tamet mane constantly busy with work, aka school. Dus, no, it's a good porta, like you said, bewust kung mane the kids have a life of their own, and you don't even know, like, when you get to know the kids a bit better, but you kind of also know their life because you get to know their parents and you know all of these things. Pero like it's good to know these things about the kids. Like okay, in mucha academic class ta ding mili un sport. So
it's going through something.
So either that could be a reason why that could be a reason why you're tired. That multiple reasons. You don't have to know the exact reasons, but to kind of just be aware of the more or less situation that they're going through.
I feel like that also helps with empathy. Pabuta mani mas empathetic to whether or not basta ita late with stuff anto I'm not saying ko is justified, but I do think that it gives you some thought into okay, sina edati that you would want children to be involved in extracurricular activities, even a homework or whatever, to putting such a strain when maybe there is not a good balance, and how can we reach that? Basta, are we reaching that balance?
It could also be a good moment to also just reach out to the parents, because if parents miss tame no sabe because they're not in the classroom, right? So they don't know. Nanta just pensa miyo ta sino ng best. Or miyo ta flojo no ta sino su best. I don't know. Like we don't know that. So it's also good if you see this about a child, you see how it's going in the classroom, to also reach out to the parents and be like, hey, by the way, just a hint or a tip or something. So I know a lot of it's quite, as a teacher, it's quite hard sometimes to have to deal with parents and say something about their child. Pasobra, de nawo ng yuta perfecto, which they are for them.
Yes.
Pero that's not always the case in the classroom.
And that's okay. Mi kere ko tamita importante pa mention say ku effect ko bayuti yung different porta persona na school nota malo e nota algo mani basta out of the ordinary ta normal. Mayoria di nós yung different persona na trabaho ko nós ting na kas. Some people don't, which is fine as well. Pero no me serta algo como mani, oh my god, batong hene completamente diferente anto que seita algo malo. it's we adapt in certain situations and to certain basta places with certain people. Si bati yung hende ko tong tiki masya, importante ta basta drive mas na kas, kuta man smaller settings versus kumani na school. Pero parte yung hobby, diferente motibo ng pakiko isagi pasano, and that's okay too. But also tips for parents. Ya ko ayan escolar ko minsan, let the teachers know, right? For alam siya naman chiquito who might not necessarily share it by themselves. Lagi teachers ang know si ting ko sang ko naman sa keep in mind. Si for example, hey, you know, in sports, also because they might talk about it and to say portang manera pa open conversation, i-motivate the studiante. Share with the teachers. I think there's a lot of, you know, to gain from that.
Share with the teachers, but also be open to what the teacher has to say as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, just tumamaneki ko a teacher to be tama di biya as like, miyota asino malo or something like, no, it's
let's work together.
Just something that the teacher noticed and is letting you know.
Exactly. And see them as like team members, right? Na final del dia, torrihan a common goal, kuta a positive development di mucha. So yeah, use that information to kind of like grow together.
Yeah.
All right. So next story that I see here, tadi Mandy, and it says, I've had several horrible experiences with teachers, experiences that can almost overshadow all the good I've also experienced. However, growing up in the 90s, I had a good fortune of meeting a male teacher that potentially changed the trajectory of my life. I had just lost my grandfather that year before and grew very depressed. I was very close to my grandfather. It was all incredibly heartbreaking. I was always very quiet in class, and it would have been easy for me to fall through the cracks of an otherwise busy classroom. My third grade teacher did notice. He took it upon himself in his own time to have a chat with my grandmother and also started to help me catch up on the material I fell behind on. He did all of this very gracefully and tactically. I never ended up feeling singled out or dumb in class. He was kind and patient with me. It meant the world to me that someone recognized my struggle and was there for me. He had a positive and caring male role model. That was so nice to read. Also, po sobra, hope bibiyano sa escucha di man female teachers, especially at younger age. So it was really nice to get a story about a male teacher that made such a positive impact on somebody's life. Pero the loss of a family member.
Yeah, especially if you're very close.
Yeah,
it has a really big impact in your life, in which your life continues. Isi boto na school, bono ta focus, bono ka dume, like she writes that she got really depressed. So, and you can really notice this in a child, especially if it's like from one day to another, right? So, isi mucho normalmente to hobi contento, outspoken, of que gusto man is talkative or something, and then all of a sudden, zero, like nothing.
Yep. And the state ko kumani it's paying attention to all of your students, pero tama ta empathetic enough to know ku even though mucho porta chiquito, mucho dentro de class, grief is real for them too. Toko facu hende muri din família tabaiting of porting impacto grande din sua vida. Even though ta porta ni compreender que como é depression ta, the severe sadness, right? Porta going through it.
Her feelings are still valid.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
E como adulto nang dor ko nossa pensa ko nossa sinti kostang mane, because we have more words for it. Nossa pensa ko mane mucho na porta stressed, mucho na porta anxious, di kiko porta rabiaf, di kiko porta sad, right? But they feel those emotions too. It's physiological reaction. It's something happening in your brain, so they are feeling these things. Então, se não porta rem pa process essa aqui, cinco tem impacto open negativo din ang vida ta ideal. Pero nos turma está open for it. E local que te bisa, right? Di tur dos band, família está open pa have a conversation and to support her through this. Que teacher basta durf by having conversation, and vice versa. I think that's really beautiful. So for anyone who went through something, maybe in the summer, na final de ano escolar, teacher po itong really helpful ally in this process. Talk about it, right? Share.
Funny time. So, Yeah, o historia kita di like a person, right? Ang grandfather, pero may sako na Holanda, and maybe this is like foreign for Aruba because they don't see animals the same way. But na Holanda, teachers and children also when they lose a pet, nang makdik kidakas. Like they literally give them the space to grieve.
Claro.
Because it's part na Holanda, pets are like part of the family, like really close. Dus oran, hopi biya mi tati mucha de mi klase namin na nota bi school, mi tamani kaya pasa, may bay putra mentor of so na they lost their family dog. I love animals. Just mi miss I wish I had that when I was younger because I know I got super depressed when I lost a pet. Pero those are also important moments na Aruba tame po pasa. There are kids who get attached to pets or anything in general. The fact that they go through these emotions, you should
it's
not
loss.
disregard it.
Yeah, emotions of loss. Paso mani to mention na portong pet, pero porta tambe kung mani ito doing un sport that I absolutely love now. Basta porta la kibro mga falgasina, por hasile. Porta un process di mani weeks and months ko por causa mani that feeling of severe loss. E inderdaad, even si mani abo no to persona ko tin pets, anto nunca no igiting mani un attachment feeling di un pet. Do not dismiss that, right? Kung say porting mani un impact riba persona, família, mocha. Midawa ka nos family setting, anto losing pet ding nos mani household. Tatong ting mani parents ang nota hinan ko ta mani basta yura mani fácil. I'm not either. Pero losing a pet to moment, anto basta people cry, anto it's we give each other that space, pero and I'm happy that that space happened at home, pero mitawa mikaba mani si mita share si kung kolega as an adult anto nanta mani okay basta mani dos puto mitraha basta no I'm gonna take a day or two pero sí it's a hope nice pa keep in consideration, and that losses come in many different ways. So yeah, let's give space for that.
And one is not more important than the other.
No. Some might take longer to process than others, pero e momento e emotion ta valid and real, and we should respect it, right? And give it the space. Okay. So there is another one. Do you want to read that one?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you pronounce this name?
Ale.
Okay. Nice. Foi ora kumi sa basisschool, mi tata mucha hopi hyper. Den eerste e tweede klas mi ahera que da cinta pa via dia saki. Den derde klas mi akeda cinta. E a vrouw kumi haya e di dos viaja den derde klas no tava da gustami. E tava da queda dismiss mi e hasi costa mane pone mi cinta aparte en klas of pone mi cinta menos. Pone mi cinti menos. Ela decidi di hasi usita kumi mayornan e a duna mane un advies pa mi by school paso pa mi by school paso pa futuro pa sobre etapa da convenci kumi ting autismo e com mucho mane ami no lo progressade un basisschool quote unquote normal. Mi mayorna avisa ku no e na llega na acuerdo kumi lo porque da un basisschool normal si mi pai psicoloog di escola. E na ser descobri que mi hyperness estava um coping mechanism para o problema não como estava na cas e no autismo. Minha vrouw decidi de bisa cultura lo qual minha conta psicólogo estava ganhamento como diz estava busca atenção. Depois que minha bai seste e hal mi tuts para bai havo minha bai mostre e bisa que wak mi alogra ante ora é a correhasi maneira cosco sempre é aquela ela quer de mi potencial.
Oh my gosh, like gaslighting?
It's actually hopefully, I don't know, kind of triggering to read.
Same.
I feel like como
Same.
As your profession, you choose to be a teacher. I don't know, how do you have that in you?
Pisa un studiante algacina? Same.
Like I know obviously there are people out there that can be mean, but as a teacher, I don't know.
Mita pensa mani it's a triggering tambe mita sinti, so I have had similar experiences, but also because it's not foreign. The way that I hear that from more people, it's problematic. Studiante ng kutawara bisado yung educator through different phases in their lives. Just estudiante pero mayor ng tambe. It's harsh. Yeah. By all means, basta ting kondisyon ng kung mucho fornase con ele que por develop manera entre otro ADHD, basta dyslexia, dyscalculia, autismo, whatever it is. Pero if fact ito waro usado in such a negative light, e kasi pa man dismiss un estudiante, that's not cool. I mean, even si essa tayo realidad, work with it. Find a way pa basta mucho ting miho chances possible then whatever rhyme to ko ita.
Yeah.
Anto effect ko man teachers taw zema nung course ko man okay, I feel like it gotta be that. Anto you gotta go. Pa sobra patos trabando mi class basically. Yeah, that's problematic.
Yeah. Misak yeah. Hopi fastidioso si at the moment, like ora bato donando less y mucho te queda así fastidioso. I fully understand. It really gets on your skin. Y bato get out of my class. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Pero I've always had this thing where I try to do it every time as well. Vooral na Holanda, so I never really vibed with Dutch kids. I even though mucho te hopi fastidioso de mi less. Cada less, like every time I see them again, it's a fresh start. I try to not take whatever problem or whatever irritating thing they
happened
last time to carry over ding a last. But so maybe that was just a bad day for me or for him or her. I don't know. And that's how you keep going. So asina in the end, but just by ting bad image di mucha and to finish whole year, but I think by over. Well, I don't know, maybe he or she had a bad year. I don't know, something. Pero it's really, I don't know, probably so mucho abon na habit of like, this is not for you.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be a teacher. Exactly.
In realidad, ting really awesome teachers out there, but it's one of those jobs communicated and it really has to be a vocation. Ting hopi studies out there, count me in for that. It sounds kind of cool, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
And halfway, but I realized okay. I'm not sure what's going on. Anto basta ko bono sa mane kikota going on or whatever. Anto nanda kis pa mane buy into teaching school because it sounds like legit. It sounds mane but yung secure job.
I feel like hopi biyahe also take it as the easy way out.
I'm not sa kiko.
It's not easy at all.
Exactly.
But I mean, I feel like
what is easy about it?
Nothing. Pero it's easy. It's like an easy choice to make.
Yeah.
Possibly it's such a specific job, right?
Okay, so bonating ko by wonder una mi end up tatraha. Yeah,
exactly.
like that.
So that's
okay.
People, because I had a lot of those during my study, right? Why are you here? Like you're not fit to be a teacher. I mean, Miss Mesera, like, descubrí like, oh, I actually enjoy teaching, but it was not like a first decision that I've, like, that was not my thing. I was like, I'm never going to be a teacher. Who wants to be a teacher? That was not my thing. Y mi dating mucho na asina de mi class tambe ku mi apunta tamane, pero why are you doing this study? Nantamane, well, amita bon English. So easy.
There are so many other things you can do with that. Yeah, exactly.
Pero kos bong at least mi sana Holanda ku ora bo começar bo teaching degree. Bota ko estágio de aprome aya.
Nice.
So you already get the feeling of what it is to be in front of a classroom and deal with kids, and you can decide, okay, is this for me or is this not for me? Y hope mucho akaya fo.
Claro.
Like aprome aya hope mucho akaya fo de mi class y it's nice because then you like weed them out.
Sí.
And the good ones try to stay.
Claro. Y mabisa, no? This idea ko it's easy. It's easy in the sense ko job hunting is easy. But the work is not. But the dealing ko 20 plus brains. Con mesmo personalities, anto their parents' brains and personalities, ito tuma hopi energia to do that. I to show up mane bata bisa, no? I purba di mane not biased about it, not biased about them. By all means, I like when I teach like extracurricular courses, pero mita hopi bawas ko ito very limited. Anto because it's extracurricular, the people that are there usually want to be there.
Yeah. It's not mandatory. So.
Yeah, it's different. And it mita sina bawas diya say kuding man me 9 to 5 job, or it's not 9 to 5, but yeah, something like that. Basically basta mi po kon sera mi porta de mi oficina si mi ti un dia una gumike kon concentrare bakaba algo anto that is it.
Yeah.
Anto money that is it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Exactly.
Not even in pause, I can't do that because
bono po just será porta anto mane episode mane
you will constantly have kids that be sick for anything. Anything. Juffrouw, kita toets pa mayon. Juffrouw, kita huiswerk. Juffrouw, kom by. Like they just want to have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Like, it's nice, but sometimes it's also very energy draining.
See, so, be aware of that. Si você tá pensando como importa education to the route you want to go. Also, there is a lot of forms of education. Explore them. Pero working with like classrooms is hard. Anto, it take a lot of energy. Y, going back into teachers lang kuta have this moment, may just karbisa ko mane gaslighting in education happens, anto iporta hopi powerful onto students. I have experienced that as well. Tame pa, so I too was that kid because I was super hyper annoying in class. So I can relate 100% to that. Pero that carries with you. Ito siguro ko so ito si mita taman yung much mas chill. Of course, teachers lang ko nunca no man who's that type of rhetoric towards me or whatever. Me image di mi mes in school years lota pata hope mas positivo tame. But sobra I carry it in my brain. Kito ba ito di ko maybe I'm a little annoying. Alto portami itong taking mucho hyper. So anytime un hand sa akin, mani batong hope enerhiya, mani automatically mi kurpa to get warmer.
Yeah.
Mani, I'm on defense mode. Although, even though if people like say it in a compliment tone,
you already know it, and then they point it out, so then you're even more aware.
Exactly. And itinghen ito sila ding mani un complimentary way. Mani, wow, bosa mani tinghen ko. See, yes, at abit ako mani.
Is it too much?
Yeah, like what are you saying? What are you saying?
Yeah.
So teachers beware about basta kung wala pa pwede mani characteristics di estudyante ng tambe and to how we throw around labels. Please, iporta hopi detrimental na un estudyante sa mental health. Imane din kaso aki basta calling children liars. By all means, children do lie. Pero so do adults, So putting yourself in a situation unda ko bata sinti need pa have that type of discussion kung estudyante. Maybe take some time for yourself because it's saying a lot. Si bata sinti ko bating ko have un conversation kung mucha chiquito, anto yaman nang mani ganyan busca atensyon, like say those type of words and sayings. I feel like you're projecting and
and there's always a reason why. Well, for the most part, there's a reason why
even sila buscando atensyon. Exactly.
Why they lie, right? So there's like an underlying reason. And pa just be somebody busca atensyon. No, but so then what is the reason di kong ito buscando atensyon? There's
exactly. Like how can we get to the root cause so this can become a better situation? Definitely. See, please don't take it lightly because
Pero I don't know because these are I don't know who these people are, but most of them are already adults, right?
Yeah.
So
all
then
of them.
So then mita sinti tame ku nowadays because awareness about like mental health and all these disorders are more common. It's easier. It's just like you're more aware, right? There's a lot more information. There's a lot more studies done. So ito hopi mas amigo bisa fácil takwal pa bodjis hasi tiki understood pa mes como docent about kiko ta ADHD, kiko ta autism, kiko ta dyslexia, and know that you 100% will have these
at least one
kids,
student with something.
With something in your classroom. Maybe antes it was less common.
Because people were underdiagnosed.
Was negative, and it's a lot easier to say like kita hyper, kita flojo, terwijl portay mo kita ADHD, portay mo kita just thing, like a learning disorder, like you don't know.
Exactly. So pros and cons. There's always pros and cons about like social media, about the internet, and whatever. Pero it does help make all of our lives easier, so use it to your advantage. Basta hope it goes to a Google search away. And even though you have been doing a job for like 30 years, a Google search can like completely change what you thought was true for like 30 years. So hasi uso di essay.
And just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Because I know a lot of people are hopi biao about the papi ko na about certain disorders. They're like, but it's all in your head. And I'm like, it literally is. That's what it is. It's a disorder.
Exactly.
It's
oh my gosh.
thing.
It is in my head, and you telling me to calm down of it being all in my head. It's not gonna make it come out of my head. Exactly. 100%. That is so nice of you saying it like that. Okay, so next one, kumiting kinang tapaola. It's like a nice experience story because it's a mom. Labi sa, hello Carolina konta. Un teacher ko tapos life-changing, tapos yung frau de miyu den kleuter. Tapos just awesome. Sing su support, miyu nolo pora haya egia. I amor, i respeto inclusivo ku ito ting master. Anto e frau Yama, e frau Argeline, disculnos para eso. That is really nice to hear. So for context, po ting you ting special needs. Anto see, but like have that teacher who, although this is a situation where there is a condition present and I do need support, and having that support, that is like really, really nice. It gives that context, no? Kung mani taong good teacher, tabay yung positive impact, obviously, ribe estudiante, good caring teacher, right? But sobra what is good, I mean, important defined, is subjective in so many ways, but also caring, involved. Tabay yung positive impact ng estudiante in a parents, and it could make or break parents during many tough situations. A process they go through diagnosis and stuff like that, heavy on parents. It's heavy, nantami going through all these changes ng cast, nantami ta mani purbano they figure out what works, and to having un hindi kuta supportive in that process, positive kuta mani basta keep you going, porta mani ekos kuta keep you sane. Like the thing that doesn't make you break and lose it. So thank you for that.
For sure.
Teachers.
As a teacher, you're modeling the behavior, right? So, si mucho na nimo class tabi tawag that you're being respectful and inclusive to a certain child. Hopefully, you're modeling this good behavior. Kung nang tabi po mani eventually be like, oh, why am I being, mean to this kid? There's no reason to be like at the full, like this. We're all the same. We're all in the same boat. We're all in this
Al
classroom.
contrario, but awa ko mani teachers ang ko ta really embody that. Students on the classroom, tabira mani advocates for this other child, anto na tabira mani su team, anto I love it.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that, indeed. All right, so can you read the next one?
Yes, next one is Elise. When I attended Montplaisir Basis School, I had a teacher called Yuf Lillian. Every morning, she would tell us a story in which she would teach us a life lesson. My favorite message was, treat people the way you wish to be treated. I want people to treat me with kindness and respect, so I will continue to treat people with kindness and respect. Who wouldn't want to be treated in such a way?
Yes.
Literally the motto of life. Like, why? Como to expect mane by bully somebody or like treat them less, and then paanang si mas tratame ko respect.
Exactly.
I don't know, it's like common sense, but I guess not everybody has that.
Children don't have that yet, right? You're supposed to be modeling that for them, and to making sure that it sticks, and to giving like some time of your day, if it's like in the morning or maybe in afternoons or whatever, but touch base on these like important life lessons. Ku tabay has yung impact, un long-lasting impact, ku portaba ta repetir yung mesong message ding mani siyang diferente forma, pero one way or the other, it will get through. So do not give up on that, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice seeing that. It's nice hearing that. Ku teachers that take some time to do that. All right. So last one that we have right here is from Nicole. And it's like damn nice to read because it's a university experience. So it says, Miss Clemencia Eugene at the University of Aruba was and is the perfect example and role model for women of color who take pride in their heritage, culture, but also never afraid for those in need of a voice. Even though she was bullied amongst her colleagues for having dreadlocks and wear head wraps or I don't want to say this wrong. Dashikis? Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, dashikis. She remained true to herself. She also was a key person who comforted me when my mother passed, which was a tough time for me, not only not only a person, but academically as a person. Many times I simply wanted to quit because it was all too much. But she always believed in me and encouraged me. For that, I am forever grateful. I try to be more like the Clems of the world, genuine and empowering. That is so nice to read.
Very nice.
So I know Ms. Eugene because I do like being involved with local schools in Aruba, including the University of Aruba, and indeed every time I see her and just being true to herself is very for me in any case, it's very peaceful. Like it gives me the sense of like, yes, safety. Because that is, maybe, I don't know what she went through, but ipora man express women the way she does. Pero ito namin man un sense of like safety and peace, ku regardless, she can be who she is. And this is hope nice, because I would like to see that in all academic institutions. Go por G's tabo mes. And to basta be there, comfortable, being who you are and what you are. And to that has a positive impact on your students. Kung ainda to ting man basta portanto hope young and to basta but issues with self-confidence and to peer pressure and whatnot, and then having these people as role models, kuta siguro na mes ita present ng mes in such a way that's really important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, students can literally smell fear. And like, if you're being fake or anything, just man hope like the main thing hoping hinata bisa man a tip for when you're a teacher, and it's like just be yourself, because they can really tell if you're being fake or not. And hope ita also a gateway pa nambay man step all over you, because they're like, oh, it means if you're being fake, it means you're not self-assured, you're not confident in yourself.
So we're gonna get on your nerves.
Yeah. So being yourself and just like confident in your skin, confident in who you are, helps with just standing in front of the classroom, but also helps, like you said, being like modeling that behavior of like, porta na getting peer pressured pa mane dress a certain way or do something and blah blah. Anto sinatawa abo ko mo yung frau of menerta mane no worry ko nada bota bisi kong kuta bota sibo kabay kong kuta. This is you, and you are comfortable in who you are. Nan tabay pensa tame, well, why should I subject to that peer pressure? I can also just be myself and look at this person succeed in life.
But on a finality, teachers and educators, people that students look up to. Even though sinanting man un direct positive, that is why they can have that direct positive or negative impact on students. But sobra nanta basta authoritative figure in that moment, nanta un role model in that moment. So yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like basta ting amiawo meeting shit class. Then cada class ting at least 20 mucha. Like I try to be a role model for all of them, but I mean, expect I make a change in every individual's life.
No.
So if you can at least make a difference in one or two in cada class, that already helps a lot.
Exactly.
So that's like me, right? I'm to make a difference for these two kids, and then put otro frau to make a difference in the other two kids, and then collectively, we all make a difference.
Yes, I love that. That is a nice way of ending with that, right? Cool. It's a collective. Ku buting responsibility to click with everyone and to make a difference for everyone, pero si collectively busuturta on this mission to be the best you can and to do the best you can, then that will have an impact.
It's a collective effort. Like also as teachers, like bisaku wata dembo local, and you have your thing to do tibo sexy, and that's your thing, but it's also good to just work together for al orbo mane. If you hear other teachers complain about a kid, iporta dem bolas, but para in nota sin at all, bobo sa bicycle be like, oh, se hope is trying, se camita hope you rust, so maybe
let's talk about it.
Let's see,
what's going on, right? Awesome. Kristi, is there anything that you want to leave listeners with? Algo po na lang, ayos ko lang kabi habri, everything's new, everybody's new, whatever. Algo ko como educator, book or leave people with to keep in mind also from what we gathered from these stories.
I think kind of what we already have been saying. Be very aware of both the students and the parents. For parents, be aware that teachers teachers think bida dushi, vacancy and everything, but it's like no, it's also a lot of work. Everybody's going through it, so be open also to when the teacher has something to say about your kid, and no per se tume como algo negativo di biyaha. For teachers, be aware ku tur mucho tamita going through it, nothing milyong high swearak, like
for sure.
Don't expect too much. They're also still kids. Misako man in high school, nanti ko go through puberty and doing all these things, but they're kids and they're all going through it. They all have emotions, and their emotions are valid. So just keep that in mind.
Exactly. I love that. Thanks so much for being awe y conversar con me. Of course, everything that we discussed today and we mentioned today, Si bata sinti ko ting algo porta we didn't touch and to you do wanna send me a message and I can share it, by all means. A quick reminder for everybody who's not a teacher, who might be a parent or just somebody out there, check-in ko ba teacher friends anto ba children's teachers. Si ay escolar tan nobo, pero check-in ko ng portanang master di mane un little something pa nang get it right, pa nang sinti mane okay ko starting up as it's overwhelming. Ting hobby class of ting hobby mucho nang nobo. Check in, share information. But also tabuas ko mani it's not an easy job. To purba di cambia that like rhetoric perspective. Be a little empathetic towards them as well when they have days kunota as great. Si but escucha con teacher but to have a bad moment. The falgasina, check in. Maybe they are really going through something and they need some help with that. So mi kaya bisa say tame pa so mi kaya pa yung hinasinti ko, we came here to like talk bad stuff about teachers. That is at all not it. But say tame mabisa so I share about great teachers and not so great teacher moments. But some kere ko moments should define mani fully career dia teachers lang, but hopefully just a reflective moment pa. We do better. And yeah, so let's do that. Kristi, thank you so much once again.
You're welcome.
Naturheme ko escucha. Si you're just catching up now of una escucha fule sa aquí, porque escucha fule episode, do not worry, it's saved on YouTube e Facebook di Kulafam e Sincerely Carolina. Ilota available Jamar, sriba Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Sibota a podcast person like me. But escucho por ahora bata corriendo auto, falgasina. But catch it on Tuesday. La camisa, si bata haya kuno singo papia di un topico importante. Otro si mang mi ti mensaje pa papi di un topico ko tomane un tiki touchy. I will tell you more about it hopefully during the week. Pero nos pa papi un tiki di a topic di child trafficking and sexual abuse. I know it's like a very heavy topic, but I think it's a really important one that we should talk about, especially the topic being out there in pop culture. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you to my awesome sponsors for making Sincerely Carolina possible. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to Crest, to Cervi, and to Toto. Remember to check out their products and to buy them on socials as well. And to see bukertas ng things through giveaways. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, sincerely.carolina, and participate in the quizzes. Remember, you have to listen so you get the answers right, because if you don't get it right, even though but message me rabia to be sami may tata sound ma primi fault, like I don't know, you need another account or something then. I see y'all doing that too. It's allowed, it's fine. As long as you learn through the process. Even if you follow me, tame. But just participate in a quiz and to expect to win and not follow me. Like, you can't do that. Anyways, just letting y'all know, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you again later, actually. Awis, di ba at the start, and I am a guest, so it's really nice to be a guest for a change. But I'm just super excited. Byron is already somewhere in the building. And yeah, it's a dream come true to see this project, so we will talk during Simone Atista a little bit more about that. So stay tuned. We will start at 10:15, and you can also catch that online. All right. I hope you learned something new and that helps you make better choices and become better people. I appreciate you, and I will see you again next week. Bye. Hi, I'm Carolina, and I am the host of Sincerely Carolina, a series of educational conversations about current social issues with local and international experts. Make sure you tune in every Saturday on Cool FM